I love that minced meat and rice are very versatile because you can whip up so many dishes out of these two ingredients. So in this recipe today, we are going to be making some Cajun dirty rice. Yes, you heard that right. And it's going to turn out amazing, flavorful, and it's going to be so good. This is going to be a very easy recipe with minimal ingredients, which are very basic. So we are going to be using one spice, which is Cajun seasoning, and it is a combination of several spices, and I have a teaspoon. So that is all you need for this recipe. So I'm going to start off cooking by placing a pot over medium flame. Then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Two is enough. This is 200 grams of minced meat. That's the reason I've added in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, because it's not fatty. So I'm going to start off by cooking my minced meat. I'm going to transfer into my pot. Then using my spatula, I'm going to break down the meat as it's cooking. And cooking the minced meat is going to take around 2 to 4 minutes at most. We're breaking down the meat using a spatula because we don't want the meat to be lumpy once the rice is done cooking. After around 3 minutes, this is how my minced meat is looking, and as you can see, we have a gorgeous brown color. That means that the meat is well cooked. So we're going to add in 1 medium onion, saute for around a minute until soft. As the minced meat and onions are cooking, I'm going to add in my Cajun seasoning, which is going to toast together with the spices. Also, I'm going to add in 2 seasoning cubes. That is beef seasoning cubes, which are going to add in more beef flavor to the rice. Toast and let everything cook. After adding in the Cajun seasoning, I can catch a very nice aroma in the kitchen. Also, there's a kick of spiciness since Cajun seasoning has cayenne powder. Wow, everything is cooking perfectly. So now I'm going to add in a thumb-sized ginger and 4 cloves of garlic, which are going to add in more flavor. So I'm going to cook for at least 30 to 45 seconds so that the garlic and ginger can become very flavorful. For this recipe, I'm going to be cooking 1.5 cups of rice, and I've already soaked my rice for around 10 minutes. So the benefits of soaking rice is that it's going to perfectly cook. So I'm going to drain the water, and then we are going to add into our pot. Add in your rice, then you're going to toast for around 1 to 2 minutes, and this is going to let all the flavors infuse into the rice. The rice is very delicate because we have been soaking the rice for around 10 minutes. So don't stir the rice too much because the rice grains are going to break apart. So after toasting, I'm going to add in my carrots at this point. And then I'm going to be adding in 3 cups of water. So I'm going to use the same cup that I used to measure out my rice. And actually this is 3 cups of water. Add in the pot. Stir in. Whenever you're cooking rice, use a heavy bottom pot for the perfect rice outcome. So I'm going to wait for around a minute so that the water can come to a boil. Remember, we added in some seasoning cubes and they have a little bit of salt. So I'm going to check the seasoning once the water comes to a boil, and then I'm going to be adding in some more salt. Cook your rice for around 3 to 4 minutes. Then once the water is evaporated, so that you can see water on top of the rice, you're going to add in your capsicum. Then you're going to cover and simmer for around 5 minutes. And during this time, the rice is going to perfectly cook. The capsicum is going to soften up but not overcook. Remember, check your seasoning. My rice is ready and it's smelling so awesome. So I'm going to put out the flames. Then using a fork, I'm going to fluff up and just look at that outcome. The rice is looking perfectly cooked. The capsicum are still crunchy. So now it's time to serve. My favorite part about the recipe is that it's so easy and simple to whip up this Cajun dirty rice. So this is going to be totally worth it if you try out the recipes, because the flavors are amazing, the rice is perfectly cooked, and we have some veggies. So hope you'll be giving this recipe a try